Put this on all the messages or all the chat. And we are golden, baby. Golden. How is everybody doing? Do about an hour stream. Have a lot to talk about this week. UFC 317 fight week. I got all my predictions out already. Very, very happy about that. Let's see. Live. Create. What up? What up? We are live. Spell R correctly. Oh. Shoot. Live. There we go. Bring it back, and we're bright again. Look at that. Share. Here we go. What up? What up? What up? A banger of a card. Absolute banger of a card. I love it. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Make sure it's all live. We're good. We are good. Shit, that's join. Hello. What up? What up? What up? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Subscribe if you're not already. Working up to 4,000 subscribers. Appreciate you. What's up, Anderson? Slap that like button. Share the stream. It all helps. Talking about UFC 317. Nice cat art. Appreciate you. Good try, Leroy. Gotta try better than that. You play... No. No. We're just talking about MMA. Talking about 317 and Boku's recap. Roundtree versus Hill. Jamal Hill. Probably never going to see a better, good version of him ever again. Let's be honest. Probably never going to see a good version of him again. Watch the finale NBA. I didn't get a chance to watch any, but it was close. I see went to Game 7. I think with Halberton, the guy that tore his Achilles, I think if he stayed at the game, they'd probably win. But what are you going to do? OKC is just too stacked. I did know that. Yeah, how he got injured? Yeah. You need to hear what? There ain't nothing to hear, buddy. There ain't nothing to say. Jon Jones duck. You're going to be on this to the end of time. If Tom Aspinall was worth something, he'd fight him. There's nothing to admit. Jamal is right hand only fighter. It seems like it. Jesus, it seems like it. No, I was actually correct. If you watched more of the media with Dana today, he had an interview. He said the date was for Madison Square Garden. That's what they were thinking about. And then something happened and Jon retired. They were working on it for MSG, like I've been saying. Wasn't wrong. Not top 5? I agree. He's not top 5. Not top 5. Oh, man. My heavyweight. Yo, what's up, Lucas? What's up, buddy? Jones ducked, but he is still the GOAT. I hate him. He didn't duck. Didn't duck. His legacy is still intact. He's still the greatest fighter of all time. Do we think Charles is getting KO'd round 1? I don't know about round 1, but I think he's getting KO'd, yes. The true GOAT is Conor. Sure. Still intact. Yeah. And again, the plan, Dana said it today because he did the boxing event today, or the press conference. The goal, or the date they were talking about, Jon included, was MSG. The plan was for MSG. So, most confident pick for 317. Oh, gosh. Most confident pick in 317. I'll tell you. It is... Jacoby Smith, Joanty Denise, and Ilya Taporia. And that hurts me because I want Charles to win. I don't give a shit about steroid uses. I mean, it means nothing to me. You can be people can be on steroids all they want. It doesn't make you a good fighter. Sorry. Look at Walt Harris. Look at Overeem. Look at Vitor. I don't care. Vitor couldn't even beat Jon Jones on steroids. MSG is a great substitute for salt. Conor, he also did coke and still won. Yep. Plus, many fighters did steroids and still have lost. Well, I mean, it's true. Like I said, look at Walt Harris. He tested positive for multiple steroid failed test. He got 2 years banned. Walt Harris is awful. Always has been. I think Jones kills everyone in the heavyweight. Yeah. Yeah. I think and people keep making this thing was like Jon would have fought Pereira if he beat Magomed. Of course he would have. Pereira is more dangerous than Tom. Pereira has more accolades than Tom. Pereira has the fast rise, all the wins, 2-time champion, 2-division champion. Of course Jon would want that fight. Tom hasn't done anything. I mean, people ignore that fact. Hasn't done anything. When Jon came back, Gon was number 1. And they were going crazy, riding his nuts hard. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Number 1 guy. Jon's been off for 3 years, and Jon destroys him. And then they make excuses afterwards. Oh, well, we didn't really know. His ground game is questionable. Same thing can be said about Tom Aspinall. We don't know, and look what Jon did. It's crazy. Pereira is scary, yeah. I think you have bias. I don't have bias. There's a lot of fighters that are like, I don't have bias. It is the truth. Tom Aspinall hasn't beaten anybody. And like I said, I don't hate Tom. I like him as a fighter. But beating Curtis Blades by knockout means nothing. Beating Sergey Pavlovich by knockout means jack shit. They were trying to hype up Sergey Pavlovich like he was the next fucking coming of Jesus. Like, you think Curtis Blades is going to challenge Jon? He would get destroyed. You think Sergey would challenge Jon? He would get destroyed. We don't have enough information to be like, okay, Tom, he's fast. All right, Jon's seen that before. Come on. Tom is a machine. Trevor, take a hike. Still think Jones comes back if Tom gets a title defense. I think if he racks up a couple, yes. You know why? Because then it means something. It means something. There's things that we will know about Tom before Jon would fight him. There would be a backstory. Of course, yes. Tom got to fight Mike Tyson to prove himself or Logan Paul. And like I said, I've been saying it for years. And like I said, I was correct. The plan, like Dana said, Jon accepted it. The contract was already there. They just haven't posted it. Jon was gonna fight Tom Aspinall at MSG because they're going to MSG. I think this week or sometime soon. Tom's gonna be there the whole week. That was the plan. Jon, Tom, MSG. Something happened. Jon called him and retired. I agree with your point, but at the end of the day, fighting Senile and Miocic is kind of the same thing. See, again, I'll explain this to you, and I don't mean this any disrespect or nothing like that, but the reason why Jon wanted to fight Miocic is in the history books of the UFC. Miocic has defended the title more than anybody, so he's the GOAT of like the heavyweight division and like title champion or whatever, you know. Why wouldn't Jon not want that? Oh, that's the heavyweight GOAT? Let me show you what I'm going to do to him. That's why Jon wanted him. Because in the history books, Miocic is there as the best heavyweight of all time, accolades-wise. I agree Miocic was old. I 100% agree. But of course Jon would want that. Because Miocic has done something in the record books. Oh, that's the guy? Watch what I do to him. That kind of thing. But it's almost like Floyd ducking Pacquiao until he got older. Well, he didn't duck Miocic. He got injured. Otherwise, he would have fought him really soon after he fought Gon. Got injured, though, training for Miocic. And then had to fight Miocic. That's the reason why that fight got pushed off a little bit, is because he got hurt. I agree it looks good on his resume, but the fight itself looked bad. I mean, he looked great. He looked great. You know, and again, it's not Jon's fault. Miocic, if he's still fighting and he agrees to the fight, then that's all Jon has to do. He has to focus on the fight. Again, I agree. He's older. Shouldn't have been doing it. But in the UFC's record books, Jon has a win over the greatest heavyweight of all time. I mean, that's what he wanted. That's your GOAT. I'm going to go beat him up now. And he did. He should have rematched Reyes before Miocic. Reyes hadn't done anything to deserve a rematch with Jon. Also, he's in light heavyweight. Jon was fighting heavyweight. So, just wish DC was younger to have that rematch at heavyweight with Jones. There's no version of DC that ever beats Jones. No version. There's nothing wrong with Jon retiring. Yeah, it's just that he knew he was never fighting Tom and dragged it out. See, that's the difference. He didn't. I just said, I don't know if you missed it, he just said, Dana, in a press conference today with the Crawford-Canelo fight, Dana said, Jon agreed to the fight, they had the contract, it was already signed, it was done, the plan was MSG, that's where they were talking, that's where Tom's going to be this week, that was the plan, and then Jon called him 2 days ago and said he was retiring. The plan was already done. They were doing MSG, like I had said, for months now. And he didn't duck Ngannou. He told Ngannou, I'm going to take time, I'm going to build up, and then we'll fight. And Ngannou left when Jon already told him, I'm going to be doing this. That's not on Jon. Jon's been upfront about the whole thing. You think Tom will go on a nice run, though? See, I don't know. Against strikers? Yes. But against grapplers, we don't know. I don't know how he's going to fight against grapplers. We're doing all right. 1 second. Doing all right. Okay. He man glazes Jones. Jon ducked Tom, pathetic. Nothing to duck, but yeah, sure. Sure. Scroll back and see what I had said about it. You're right to an extent, but Ariel reported a couple weeks ago it was agreed and he re-engaged after the UFC met with all the demands, but we will never know. Again, go back, watch. It just came out earlier today. Dana talking to the press conference at Crawford Canelo, and he talked about what the plan was because they asked him. And he said a contract was signed, contract was done. He said he wanted to fight him. All of these things, everything like I said that was going to happen, was going to happen. MSG, they were going to announce it. It already had been signed. And he said out of nowhere, Jon called him, said he was retiring. So it's not ducking him when it was already done. It was done. It was going to happen. And then Jon retired. Imagine if Dana just stripped his belt, he would have fought Tom at MSG. No. He wouldn't have stripped him. Jon ducked Tom with the fake retirement shit. Okay. We all know they retired because of Tom. Well, there's nothing retired from. I think Prime DC beats Tom. I mean, Prime DC, I mean, no, there's no version of DC that ever beat. Oh. Correct. I think he gives him a run for his money. Yes. We talking about Jon Jones? We were. Yes. The title says 317 and Boku recap. But you know how it goes sometimes. And like I said, Dana said he gave him his money. They agreed on the money. They agreed on the contract. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. It's on video. Ankalaev and Tom were too dangerous for him, so he retired. Ankalaev is nothing. He would have destroyed Ankalaev faster than he would have beaten Tom. Duplessis going to keep winning? Yes. Yes. Who has the best chance of beating Jones? I think this is the fight that he would win, but Francis, because he literally has one punch KO power, and I think he finishes Tom. He hits too hard. Tom gets hit. Curtis Blades was touching him. But Francis is the scariest one, or Pereira, because they hit so hard. But again, I think those are very winnable fights for Jon. Very winnable fights. I think if he can get Francis down, he beats the shit out of him. Same thing with Pereira. If he can get Pereira down, he beats the fuck out of him. Jon and McGregor are the thing of the past. Well, I guess Jon now. Our heavyweight with wrestling defense, Ghana was a hand-picked opponent for Jon. Well, you can say that now. You can say the same thing about Tom. We have no idea about his wrestling. We had no idea about Gon's wrestling. You watch the Francis fight, Gon has Francis in a submission and doesn't do the correct shit, could have submitted Francis. So again, we didn't know that. After the fact, we know this now, because hindsight 2020, going into that fight, people weren't talking about that. They were laughing at Jon at the press conference when he said, we don't know about his ground game. He's going to make him look like light work. It's things we didn't know. Tom looks like a light heavyweight, doesn't he? Not really. He moves like a light heavyweight, yes. But he doesn't move like a prime Alexander Gustafsson. He doesn't have that footwork. He gets really close to his opponents. His movement was nasty in his prime. Crazy how quickly he submitted Gon. Oh, yeah. Who fights Roundtree? Yuri, who wins? See, that's a tough one for me because Yuri is so unpredictable and he's okay with getting hit. One, I don't know how many shots he can take from Roundtree. Two, can he eat shots from Roundtree and hurt Roundtree? I don't know. That's a 50-50 fight because I think the better striker is Roundtree. But Yuri is so ridiculously wild, he might be able to catch Roundtree. I don't see anyone beating Ngannou at the UFC. Now that Jon's not there, correct. Roundtree will never get the belt, but I wish him the best. Seems like a nice guy. I don't know. That's tough. He went 4 rounds with Pereira. I think he beats Ankalaev. The toughest one to me is Yuri because he's so unpredictable. And I wouldn't say Gon was handpicked for him because he was number 1 in the division. So, again, if you guys can, slap that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Really appreciate you. Whatever, let Jon Jones be king in peace. He never a real heavyweight, though. Okay. Him liking whatever he wants is nothing. Who gives a shit? Roundtree destroys Inc. Yes. Charles Oliveira will submit Topuria. I hope so. But I think Topuria sleeps him. Yeah, tired of Jones. He is basically a McGregor at this point. No. He was winning at the end. Are you one of the people who still think John was pound for pound number one, 2024, 2025 over Islam? I think John is pound for pound number one, like of all time. Like people have said, if he's fighting, he has to be number one. I think Islam is number one right now. Competing wise, yes. But if John's still competing, it has to be John. He's never been defeated. I mean, we've seen close fights because he's ran through everybody else. So I think greatest of all time is John. Number one right now, especially because John's retired, is Islam. So John lost to Reyes. Close fight for sure. Inc. knocks out Roundtree. Okay. Even with Jones, that's why he ducked him for 3 years. What even makes us switch picks? I was going all week with Psych. Oh, by decision and changed to Elliott for no reason. It's crazy. What's up, DG? How you doing, buddy? Slap that like button. Who's fighting tonight? Nobody. Aspinall's too late to fight Jon Jones now. Not in his prime anymore. I see a difference between GOAT and pound for pound. That's fair. But again, like I said, if he's fighting, John has to be number one because he's the greatest fighter of all time. Now, there's no problem being behind the greatest fighter of all time currently fighting. There's no problem with that. But if John's fighting, he's number one. If he's not fighting and not like injured or on the shelf, if he's retired, Islam's number one. But also, people think because like Islam's number one, that means he makes him the greatest fighter of all time. That's not how that shit works. Zero knockdowns. So what does that even mean? Opinion on O'Malley Volk. What do you mean? Alex moves to heavyweight and becomes triple champ. If anybody could, it could be her. Him. Jeez, I see her right there. Jon Bones Jones is the GOAT. Yes. Am I crazy for picking Borishev, who seems washed against McKinney? Yes. I don't think he's washed. I just think McKinney has more power and he's more athletic early. If Borishev can survive that first round, he wins. I understand what you are saying, but pound for pound to me means who has the best skills at the current moment. Again, if John's fighting, he has the best skills. You know what I mean? But again, there's an argument. Islam better while he was fighting? Not better than John, but sure. Jon Jones fought higher caliber fighters in the past. It's too late for Jones to prove anything else. Well, it's not too late. There's nothing else to prove. Again, if Pereira, and it's so crazy to me, people being like, oh, he's ducking Tom to go fight Pereira. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Pereira's not an easy fight. We can say the same shit about Tom that we can say about Alex. If he gets them down, he might destroy them. We don't know. I tried to tell you Pachi was a can crusher. All right. How many heavyweight fights does Boy Jones have? Against the greatest UFC light heavyweight champion of all time in the record books, and the number one current ranked heavyweight at the time, off of 3 years, and defeats him under 2 minutes. Okay. O'Malley versus Volk talk? No way. Was the greatest at one point, not anymore. Still is the greatest of all time. Could be better than Jones all time, not even close. Khabib didn't fight any grapplers. You think Kara France has the chance against Pantoja? He has a puncher's chance, but I don't think he wins. Khabib is not even top 10. Correct. John fought washed up middleweights. Okay. Pantoja's too tough. Kai is done. Yes. Washed up middleweights. They said the same about Cyril Gane, and he came in and submitted him in the first round. Exactly. Alex Pereira seems distracted lately. I disagree. I think he lost focus because of the stupid bitch Nina. I don't think that's it at all. It's not him being distracted. I think he's focused now. Pantoja is underrated. I agree. Khabib not top 10? Not at all. He didn't fight any fucking grapplers. What do you mean? He retired anyway. He had nothing to prove. He knows damn well he's the best. Nobody can fuck with him, bro. All the money. Absolutely. Anthony Smith took Jones to 5 rounds. And there wasn't a competitive moment in that fight. So what the fuck does it matter? You don't have to finish everybody to be great. That's not how shit works. What are you talking about? Aspinall defeats Jones easily. How long did it take the gay boy to defeat washed up Stipe? But who does that is easy? Francis? Okay. Who else? Khabib isn't even the best Dagestani. It's weird Islam is much better. Correct. I 100% agree with he's much better. But Khabib's pressure and chain wrestling would allow him to win. Yes. Yeah, that unbelievably disgusting wrestling that he had and his pressure is gross. I think Islam is more well-rounded, but what he was good at, he was good at. Well, if you watch the Gleason Tebow fight, you would think differently. Jones is the GOAT because of his PED usage, but he is better than Khabib. PEDs don't win you fights, so they don't make you great. There's a lot of proof of that. Think can be top 15. Imagine him against Vanderford or Gustafsson. Yeah, absolutely can be top 15. Yeah, I keep saying that, but 5 rounds, this is Jones after his prime. What are you talking about? He destroyed him. You don't have to finish everybody. And also, not a lot of people finish Anthony Smith. Sorry to tell you. Yeah, but he only fought in the UFC 13 times. Khabib's resume better than Jones? Not at all. If John was in his prime, it's a no contest. I mean, there's an argument there because I think if John's 100% motivated, he probably finishes Smith. But him not finishing him doesn't mean he's bad. It's just he dominated every aspect of that fight. So, Khabib's resume is better. Yeah, it's crazy. Jones beat DC, a top 10 fighter of all time. Khabib's best win is Conor. Yeah. Jones was scared of Pavlich. Give me a break, man. Pavlich? There's nothing to be scared of. Scared of Pavlich. Get the fuck out of here. Khabib easily destroyed everyone in his division for years. Easily. All right. Khabib and Murat. Oops. Oh, I think Blades lost. He absolutely lost. And I picked Kuniev to win. So. It was more dangerous once he got his opponent down. I think Merab is as good as everyone thinks. It's just this cardio and pressure is insane. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Merab is as good as everyone thinks. But he has incredible cardio and incredible pressure. Thiago Santos beat Jones. Close fight. There's an argument. Close fight. Jones would submit Aspinall in round 3 or 4. Correct. Don't know why people think he would get knocked out. I agree. I agree. Corey Merab is better striker, if you ask me. Really? Jones said he was scared of Pavlich. Dude, give me a break. He's scared shitless of Aspinall. Okay. There's nothing to be scared of, but okay. And I know John's not scared of him because if you watch the Overeem fight, Pavlich is awful on the ground. I guarantee you he's not scared. Ngannou would be more dangerous matchup for John than Aspinall. Correct, because he has one-shot power. One mistake power. Tom does not have that. Aspinall would beat Jones, but that don't change the fact that Jones is one of the best. I don't think anyone sees Merab is that great. Well, the problem is if he keeps winning fights, people are going to talk about it. I mean, they're going to. Jones been cherry-picking fights his whole career. Okay. He's just known for winning by cardio. I think he's a tidbit overrated, but that cardio is a fucking factor. He only lost 2 rounds his entire UFC career, but that doesn't mean he didn't have hard fights. I mean, Michael Johnson wobbled him, and people don't talk about that. If he wasn't scared, why wouldn't he fight him? Well, because there's nothing to fight with Sergey Pavlich. Same reason for Tom. Nothing to fight him. Nothing. There was no reason to fight him. He didn't do anything in the division. Tell the media Merab's ranked pound for pound number 2. Good fucking God. His whole career, I wouldn't say that, but the last few, yeah. I mean, how do you handpick the number 1 ranked heavyweight in the division? That was gone after 3-year layoff. And then, yeah, we already talked about Stipe. And Ngannou is tough on the fucker. Can't even see John holding him down. Oh, I could. Stipe did it, remember? The fight happening in 2022 would be incredible. What do you think of ongoing... what are you talking about? People don't talk about Jones getting KO'd in sparring. Well, he didn't get KO'd in sparring. Also, again, sparring. I don't give a shit what happened in sparring. I don't care. Also, he got knocked down. That's not getting KO'd. So again, sparring doesn't mean anything. Let's see Jones versus Volk, Aspinall, or Pavlich. Magomed Ankalaev goes up in weight class. He would be a two-time in different weight classes. No, he wouldn't be. No, he wouldn't be. Before Khabib got in the UFC, he fought his father's events. His opponents had even more losses than wins. Correct. Other fighters went through legit promotions before the UFC. I don't care if that's what happened. In the octagon, he never did. Never was even knocked down. He didn't do anything in the division. Love the way you pass things in perspective, bro. What did he do in the division? Sergey Pavlich? Get the fuck out of here. What did he do? What? Tom Aspinall hasn't done anything. Absolutely. The cards this year have been so underwhelming. I think they've been awesome. Last weekend's was weird because there were a lot of them were decisions, but that Nazim Sadikov fight was incredible. 311 looked great until Arman screwed it up. Yeah, I agree. Still think he deserves the title shot over Charles or Ilya. I disagree. If you pull out the day of or whatever it was because of back things, which we've seen you rolling around with Nina, whatever the fuck it was, you don't, no. Getting injured's one thing. Pulling out like you did, no. Khabib is the top 5 fighter of all time. Mighty GSP and Khabib better than Jones, okay? Okay. Khabib, not at all. Didn't fight any grapplers, so no. Yeah, I remember, but in their first fight, Ngannou destroyed him in the rematch. True. I can only see Jon winning the decision control distance. Well, I don't think he would stand with him, and I think that's what makes him so dangerous. It's those moments in fights where Jon can get like he did with Gane. Got him out of position, and then he gets a hold of him and takes him down. It's those types of things that Jon would do to him. I agree with you. That's why I'm subbed. One of the only MMA casts that talks sense. I appreciate you, Kevin. Hell yeah, dude. He was dominant champion. Still not better resume, though. He had cold feet. No, the top 5 for me is 1 GSP, Jones 2, 3 Silva, 4 Mighty Mouse, 5 Volk. Gosh. That's interesting. I think it would have to be Jones, Mighty Mouse. No, Jones, GSP, Mighty Mouse. You know what? Yeah, I guess I would just rotate the one because the margin for error is incredibly small. Same for GSP, same for Silva, and then it's a little obviously lower. Volk is just barely on that list, especially because he just won again, and at 37. Yeah. I might take Volk out and put Aldo. I mean, I grew up when I first watched him. He was 4-1 in the WEC. I watched his entire rise. So, Dominion, we're not getting political here. If you want to say Jones is the best light heavyweight, that is fair, but we can't call him the best heavyweight. I never said the best heavyweight. I said he's the greatest fighter of all time. He's a great heavyweight, for one, because he beat the #1 guy, and then he beat Stipe, who is the greatest heavyweight champion of all time in the UFC. But he's the greatest fighter of all time. Oh, steroid use is disqualified for me. He can never beat the goal, in my opinion. Okay. I mean, Walt Harris took steroids. A lot of them got suspended multiple times for it. Was never good. Ilya and Charles should be an interim title fight. Imagine Islam and Ilya both winning. They can't be interim title fights. And then unification fight, that would be the biggest fight ever outside of Conor Khabib. Well, if Ilya wins the title and then goes up and fights Islam, then it's 155 against 170 champion. Jon Jones has better legacy than Aspinall overall. It's not even close. It's not even close. Jones not even top 7. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think Jon can stand on the feet with Ngannou, but in the later rounds. Oh, absolutely in the later rounds. Yeah. Trying to take Francis down or holding him against the cage in the first 2 would be dumb. I disagree. I think Jon would have to take him down or fight him against the cage. Jon should be dude number one, but PEDs have to put some penalty for me. Okay. Okay. Steve was a full-time firefighter when Jones beat him. Still in the UFC, had him as the greatest heavyweight of all time. You can't look him as the fighter. You looked what Jon was trying to accomplish. Heavyweight division was laggy. And Stipe is not a big accomplishment either unless he was in his prime. Okay, we'll tell the UFC. Look up the records. Stipe holds the record of heavyweight champion. Most title defenses, the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. That's why Jon wanted him. He didn't give a shit if it was a fucking tomato can. If he's labeled the greatest heavyweight champion of all time, that's what Jon wants. You think Conor comes back? Never. Yes, Stipe, he's a legend. Benio Dariush gets through Renato via submission as well. Ooh. Dream Taker. I put up a video today talking about that. All my predictions for UFC 317 are already out. Please go check them out. Let me know what you guys think. Because he's too busy getting charged with app. So, yeah. 1 second. Also, I have membership stuff. If you guys want to become members, I think for as low as $4.99. Appreciate you. Conor hates Trump Pilly. You act like Stipe was in his prime. Again, you didn't listen to what I said. Who has the most title defenses in the heavyweight division of the UFC? Stipe. Velasquez was better than Stipe? Yes. But he didn't have as much title defenses as Stipe. I didn't say he was a great fighter. I said he has the most title defenses in the heavyweight division. Bacon made for an MVP this year. I fucking hope so. That'd be sick. I think Marcano wins. God, I hope not. I hope not. I hate Marcano. Good fighter, especially on the ground. I can't stand his promos. Francis is better than Stipe. Didn't have as much title defenses. Try it again. We're not talking about fighter to fighter here. Who cares about stats? Jones fought him when he was pushing 45. I mean, he was 42, but sure. He was 42. Well, when you take 3 years off and fight the number one ranked guy in the heavyweight division, and then your second fight in the heavyweight division is Stipe, who is regarded in the heavyweight division as the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. He's had 2 fights, number one in the division, and the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. I wonder why that would be. Honestly, if Justin Gaethje actually holds out for a title fight, Conor versus Patty should be the fight to make. I agree. But he won't. We know he won't. I still think Velasquez is the most scary heavyweight ever along Ngannou. I agree. Joshua Van made a mistake taking the Royval fight. I disagree. He'll lose his momentum losing to Royval. Should have waited for a top 10 guy. I disagree. I think he beats the shit out of Royval. Royval doesn't have good defense. His takedowns aren't very good. He does have good back control. He gets hit a lot. Does get rocked a lot. Bad leg kick, checking the leg kicks. Doesn't do good blocking the body. Yeah. I wouldn't say no chin, but he does get wobbled. Better resume? Sure. People say Stipe looked like shit in his last fight, but he really looked even at his age. Yeah. Yeah, he looked ready, even at his age. He fought, yeah. Do you think it's possible that... No, that's ridiculous. Oops. DC and Francis have better resumes than Stipe. Okay, but they never defended the title as much as Stipe. So you just keep going with this. It's the same answer. Whether they were good, better, or not, they didn't have as much defenses, which... Are you better if you didn't defend it as much as Stipe? I don't know. Ratu is due for a loss. God, I hope so. And kind of was shit. And Royval has good hands, but he has no power. So Van can get hit. Can Royval take the combination punching with the power of Van? I don't know. Another clown that took advantage of the lagging division in Ngannou. Stipe looked great in the first till he got tripped and smashed. Yeah. Van just fought at 316. Yep, a week or two ago, something like that. You wouldn't give Jon a big kiss. Why the fans starting to say Jones beat washed over the hill, guys? They wasn't even saying this years ago. You know why? Because recency things kill people's thinking. That's why. That's why. And it's like I said, Dana White was in an interview today because he was doing the press conference for Crawford Canelo, and he talked about the fight was going to be MSG, like I had been saying, MSG, Jon, Tom. It was already, they were getting ready to announce it and all that stuff. Jon called him a couple days ago and said he was retiring. Now Tom's going to stay in MSG, and then they're going to set up that fight, the next fight. It's just people, no. Seeing Van's last two fights reminds me a lot of Rodtang. Good comparison. No disrespect to Stipe, but he's overrated. Okay. I don't know what makes him overrated. He beat a crazy hyped Francis. Whether that made Francis better or not, he still beat a hyped Francis. And then obviously lost to him a couple fights later, but still. Stipe is a legend, bro. People just be hating on him because he fought Jon. Yeah. Who did Ngannou beat? He never beat Volk or Pavlich or Aspinall. Well, I agree. I agree. He beat Stipe, and then he beat Gon. And almost should have gotten submitted by Gon, but Gon's a fucking idiot on the ground. Has him in a knee bar and literally has him in a knee bar. You think Michael Chandler is done forever? No. I think he fights again. I would assume you're talking about Alexander. No, you're talking about the really tall guy. The guy that beat Gon, didn't get robbed. Ugh. Gross. It's for entertainment? Yeah. He beat Stipe at a ripe age of 40. Good job. Honestly, Ngannou is one of the most overrated fighters ever for me. That's fair. Great power, but great highlights. And he lost the first time. Yep. Lost to Derek Lewis in an awful fight, too. Chimaev beats DDP. I disagree. I think DDP smashes Chimaev. It's pretty disappointing how the MMA fans think because you're only as good as your last fight, apparently. I mean, that's how an MMA fight game works, and it's fucking frustrating. Opinion on... Jesus. Man, ground game, no technical striking, just really powerful, so he gets away with it. Yeah. Yep. I agree, Ngannou is the most overrated champion. Well, most overrated champion is Leon Edwards. That's the most overrated champion. We have no more American champs now that Jon's out, right? I think you're correct. Yeah, I think you are correct. Yeah. Again, if you guys have not subscribed, please subscribe. I'll put the donation, or I'll put the membership if you guys want to become members. I'd really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. And again, the more members I can get, the more I can do for members. Where's it at? Right here. You don't think Chimaev can win? Of course I think he can win, but I don't think he will win. Here's the pinned comment. If you guys want to become members, please do that. It really helps out. Why don't you... Oh, yeah. Leon isn't overrated because no one cares about his title run. Oh, thank God. Yeah, Leon Edwards too, because welterweight fucking sucked for a while. Well, he just wasn't very good. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Also, up the likes, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Slap that like button. Our white people, what? Do 10 push ups? What? Nate Diaz should be the champ in the welterweight. I mean, I love Nate Diaz, but he's not a champion. Love Nate. How can you not? How can you not? Well, if Leon wasn't very good, what does that say about the welterweight division? Well, for one, he was getting dominated by Usman and then got caught. Then he fought him third time, and I thought Usman won. Grabbed the cage, got point deducted, still thought Usman won. Then he fights an awful Colby Covington, and then loses the title. Not very good. You know he was supposed to beat Leon. Leon was fighting for survival. Again, it was awesome to see Usman beat Buckley. I thought Buckley was going to win because I didn't know how a 38-year-old Usman was going to be able to take shots. And I didn't expect Usman's wrestling to be incredible. And it took him one shot in, and they got him down. It was wild. Nate almost got into it with Dagestanis in Thailand. Of course he did. It's Nate fucking Diaz. It's great. I love Nate. Yo, Big Ink, what's up, buddy? Mike, goodness. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Trevor, you're a member. What's going on? Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. All the UFC 317 playlist is up and out already. Early. Azim versus Moto was crazy. It was the best fight of the year so far. Incredible. Topuria or Dubronx. Topuria. I don't think Dubronx can take the power. That was impressive. I definitely wrote off Usman. Absolutely. Yes, thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. Leon was a slick striker. His kicks were decent, but he's not active. That's it. The welterweight division is probably the most stacked division now. With Islam leaving lightweight, Hamza was able to make weight. It would be by far the best. Oh, I think he's most dangerous at 70. Masvidal should have been champ at least once against Usman in the first fight. I think he really could have gotten it. Oh, you're good, Mike. I'm definitely going to mod you, buddy. Whenever you're in the stream, you have that capability. So, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Jamal Hill, biggest fluke champ ever? No. His Achilles injury is what broke him. So, we have to remember that. He's not a fluke champion. He never got a chance to actually defend his belt before the injury. The injury changed him. Appreciate you, be happy. Yeah, you have a wrench, absolutely. What do you think of the KO now that he has been beat Orban? How far does he go? I think he goes very far. I think he looks great. Leon got chinned by out of his prime Nate Diaz and then got a title shot. Correct. Welterweight is not the most stacked division. There's a reason Islam's going to 70 and not 45. Yeah. Well, I think 70 is incredibly stacked right now. He'll been hurt for years, not his fault. Yep. Jones only 2 good fighters on his resume. Pfft. Okay. Dude, Mike, goodness. What are you doing? Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. To thank you almost banned me from your live, and now look at us. Definitely didn't almost ban you. What's the news on Ben Askren, by the way? I seen him walking. I seen him up and walking. But the last thing I'd heard is he needed a lung transplant. Not good. Mike. Dude. Ism would die to make 45. That would be a terrible take. Well, if he could make 45, he would be so dangerous. because how well-rounded he is. And I mean, not barely make it. I mean, make it healthily. Healthily? Yeah, really sad, Samuel. Ism would, yeah. What do you think? What do you think of Dumas and Jackson McVie matchup? My prediction's out. It's weird because Dumas, he has a lot of UFC experience now, a lot. McVeigh doesn't have much, but he's very good at jumping on submissions. He has good control against the cage. He has good takedowns. But Dumas has the experience, 100%. Your pick for Van and Royval and why? Van, more power, better combination puncher. Royval doesn't have good defense and is susceptible to leg kicks. Welterweight is the easiest division. Come on, dude. Bilal was the best they had. No. Huh? I appreciate you, Mike. I really do, buddy. Thank you. You think Dustin Poirier deserves to fight for the belt if he beats Max? No, but I'm here for it. Mike, I literally don't have the words except thank you so much. Legitimately, thank you. I hope Chimaev wins. Tough fight, but just because Burns took him to deep waters doesn't mean he can't go 5. He can't go 5. Usman did well, but man, nobody worked harder than Hamzat. You say that, but he hasn't really looked good since the Burns fight. Also, Usman's the momentum was going to Usman in that fight. I think DDP smashes him. Generally terrified for Charles this upcoming week. I agree. You hustle hard, dude. I appreciate you, buddy. I really do, man. For real. John should void up and come back. I think Chimaev, but DDP is just better striker and has better cardio. Yep. Yeah, I appreciate the membership, fellow member brothers. You guys rock. Salute, my bro. I appreciate you, man. Charles will expose Topuria. I hope so. I want Charles to win, but I think Topuria's power is going to light Charles up like a Christmas tree. Hill took too much damage on his legs. No, his Achilles is what fucked him. That's what happened. Opinion on Marab Umar. In my opinion, Umar is more skilled, but Marab is going to be tough to beat with his cardio and pressure. But I think Umar is the only one capable of beating Marab and vice versa at 35. I thought Umar won in the first fight. I'm not going to be, I've been saying it. I thought he did. So I think if they run it back, I could see Umar winning. I thought Umar won 1, 2, 3. Ngannou Aspinall, how does this play out? Aspinall getting flatlined. That's how it plays out. He gets hit too much. He gets too close. His range is not good. His distance control is not good. What's up, nothing in the AM? Middleweight is the best division? Really? Anthony Smith endorsed Hill? Oh, boy. How did nothing else foresee him stumbling through his decline? Oh, gosh. Oh, Anthony Smith. Yuck. Now, I'll give credit where credit is due. Hill took those shots like a champ. Just kept moving forward. But he never made adjustments. That's an issue. Usman still got it, but it's annoying how he says Bilal who? I mean, not really. I'm very interested to see what Usman does next. 25 lost Anthony Smith. I had Umar winning, but I thought it was too close of a third round for a champ to not get the decision. Interesting. I score fights not as a whole. I do round by round. And I thought Umar won that third round. I thought he did. I just mean I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean if it's a close round, I don't think it should automatically go to the champion. If that makes sense. It's not like you have to beat the champion or you have to beat the champion to be a champion. That I don't like that mentality. So I always score round by round individually. Hopefully that makes sense. What do you think of Viziev performance and him versus Dan next? I love Dan versus Viziev next. I thought Baja Mendez, I had it 1-1 going into the third, and that first round was close. 30-27 to me is baffling. Because even when Fiziev got him down in the second, he did nothing with it. So it's a weird one. Fiziev looked good. He looked better than I thought. I thought he was going to get starched. But, yeah. Hill had to fight southpaw because of his leg. Yeah. Hill just can't really move on the same anymore because of the injury. He needs to take a break and fight someone lower in rankings. I agree. I thought Umar won. Would you say Khalil fight with Jamal worst performance out of his last 3 fights? No. He knocked him down twice, destroyed his lead leg, and had incredible cardio and went 5 rounds. It's a great performance. The only thing he didn't do was finish him. Hill needs to get a winnable fight or go to heavyweight. Heavyweight would be an awful idea because he's already flubby and flabby as it is. If anything, he would go down a weight class so that he could be better, personally. Hill shaking his head after getting rocked was sad. Yeah. Again, like I said, he looked at Terminator. It was cool. Yuri KO's Khalil. That's possible. Yes, middleweight is the best division. Man, come on. Pereira will probably go back to middleweight. Go back to midweight. I think he beats Ankalaev in the rematch. If Usman Nurmagomedov leaves the PFL today, where do you think he slots in the top 10 or the lightweight division? I think he beats anyone outside the top 5. Come on, toss with the top 5 Hughes too. I thought he barely beat Hughes. I thought he secured moments in that fight in 3 rounds of that fight that he won. Usman's weird because I think he's very well rounded and he's good, but he sometimes doesn't pull the trigger when he needs to. Hughes isn't really proven, obviously, besides the Usman fight. I would say Usman top 10. Hughes, I would say top 15, top 12. But that's not like, Hughes could definitely move up. It's just right now. Yuri KO's Hill, again, possible. Merab is a great champion. You can't hate him. I don't hate him. I mean, from Jamal's side, his worst performance. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I thought he looked god-awful. He didn't even look like a UFC fighter against Yuri. He looked like shit. That was his worst performance. The Yuri fight. Not this Khalil fight. Hope Sandhagen upsets boring Merab. God, I hope not. I hate Sandhagen. He's the most overrated fighter in the UFC. Yo, what's up, PPV? What's up, buddy? Pereira weighed 243 the other day. He can't make middleweight again. Oh, yeah, he can. He made 185. He's a big boy. I hope Sandhagen doesn't win. Why do you think he will beat him in a rematch? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think Jack Hermanson will shock. I hope not. I don't think he's going to be able to stop the grappling of Gregory Rodriguez. You picked O'Malley over Merab? Yeah. And Merab looked good. I bet on Ankalaev. I never thought Pereira would win. Interesting. I think a motivated, dangerous Pereira beats Ankalaev every day of the week. But Ankalaev looked good, even though none of his takedowns worked. The one shot in the third round, at the end of the third round, was good. O'Malley lets people sleep. Okay. Anderson Silva is the best. That's fair. Really, one. You got to stop. Jesus. All the UFC fighters first, okay? Sandhagen will get the O'Malley treatment from Merab. Interesting. If Merab starts finishing people, or he's at least attempting those things like submissions and stuff, chokes, then he's more dangerous. Then he's fun. But he never threatens with chokes. Wrestling. Dana needs to make UFC great again and ban the Russians? No. That's disgusting, Sayer. I don't know why people think Ankalaev is the world beater or something and Pereira has no chance at the rematch. I agree. Pereira defended all of his takedowns and just was a little too conservative. Correct. He said that taking all the short notice fights caught up to him. Possibly. I don't know. He defended every single goddamn takedown, and the biggest shot was Ankalaev at the end of the third. Besides that, it was a close fight. Do you think Justin deserves the next title shot? No. No. Beating Fiziev? No. Who would you put Ilya against next if he beats Charles? Armin. Who Ank ruined the division. He's boring and never fights. Pereira got the shit beat out of him. Not at all, but okay. My issue with Usman is comparing him to Islam, and Islam has much better ground game. He has much better jiu-jitsu. Not better wrestling, but better jiu-jitsu, yes. With Usman striking being a little better, I think Islam is more accurate, but Usman might have more power and cockier than the rest of the Dagestanis. He looks down on his opponents. Interesting. If John didn't retire, do you think he would have beaten Tom? Yes. I've been saying it. Yes. Does Cody Garbrandt still got it to be champion? Fuck no. But guys, I really, really appreciate you. It's about midnight here for me. Alex was an active champ. Where the hell has Ank been? Yeah? Go back and look at Pereira. Looked like a disabled person out there. Correct? Usman got rolled down in India. Wrestler defeated him with a 5-1 in wrestling. That was a long time ago, but sure. Umar beats O'Malley. Depends when O'Malley shows up. It just depends. But I really appreciate you guys. If you want to become a member, click the membership. It is pinned in the comment section. Subscribe, like, comment if you haven't already. Again, I really, really appreciate you guys. I will be live again tomorrow night, probably about 12:30 or so. All of my UFC 317 picks are out. Watch them, like them, comment, share them, all that good shit. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you. Also, I'm working up to 4,000 subscribers. Keep slapping that subscribe button. Slap it. Appreciate you.